All right, so putting this 5.3 together, I'm not gonna do a how-to or go over the whole build with you guys. I'm gonna point out little things that I am gonna do on this thrown together motor. Literally, it's gonna be that. I'm gonna go over things and kind of explain why I'm doing them. Like, first thing, for example, we're gonna grab that cam, loop it up, throw it in there. Right here, we're not gonna look at these. That one's got some wear on it, but it'll be fine. This guy, we're gonna throw that back on there, and I'll explain why here in a minute. Got a little bit of a mess here. I had to tip it forward to get down under there. Don't forget to hit out your broken dipsticks. You gotta hammer those out from the bottom. Notice they have a little lip, so it's not gonna be able to go down through. You gotta hit it up out. So we're gonna get this tip back up and throw that bad boy in there. Come on. It's the tricky part here. Like a glove. All right, so right here we have the cam retaining plate, and I'm gonna reuse the stock one with the smashed gasket, as you can see. And here's why. That's a machine surface. This is a sturdy plate. I don't think that's gonna leak oil. All right, so timing set is on and oil pump is back on. So I wanna show you guys something I did with the oil pump. If you notice right under here, there's that pressure relief valve. There's a spring in there. And I'm gonna show you on this new oil pump I have here. Kinda just be a better demonstration. Here's the oil pump from the front. Pickup tube goes in here. This is an 8mm Allen used to take that out, and there's a spring behind there. This is the old spring, popped it out, put a higher pressure spring in there, and she's good to go. I'm gonna bolt that down. We're gonna get new gaskets on the front cover, new main seal on that guy, and new timing cover gasket, slap that bad boy on and jump onto the head gasket. It's got the old lifters in it with new trays, so that's all there. I did put new trays in it, they're plastic. I could have used the old ones, but they were so dirty I didn't even want to touch them. That is the only reason I changed them. So next up we have, like I said, head gaskets, oil pump bolts, timing cover, and that should be pretty close to ready to put the oil pan on. Heads are over here. I need to weld out some bolts, so we'll get to that tomorrow probably. So timing cover is set on there. I got 2 bolts holding it in. I didn't put the gasket in here because I'm going to have this loosely here, paint it, pop it off, put the gasket in, put it back on with my stainless bolts. We are gonna have a little bit of fanciness to this. You know, it's super budget, but it's gonna look decent. Also, FYI, guys throwing head gaskets on these. Where's it at? See this spot right here? See that hole? See how there's one in the back? Make sure that's in the back on both sides. Head gaskets are labeled, but I've seen them labeled wrong. So always don't pay attention to this. Pay attention to this hole. Put it in the back on each side. Got these dirty heads up on the, well, I got one up there. The other one's down here. So Texas Speed, dual valve spring, 660. I'm gonna get these installed in the heads, and then I'll update you guys. I'm not gonna bore you with this assembly process, and then we'll get them set on here. Get it all together, oh yeah. I threw in the towel a little bit early last night. I started doing the trunnion kit, pushing out the old pieces down here out of the centers. They're a little bit dirty. I'm gonna clean those up with brake clean. Once I get the trunnion kit done, we'll throw those in, the valve covers on, we'll get that painted up nice and pretty. And that should be, all right, heads are assembled and all set on the block. I got some head bolts set in there. Oh yeah, quick update. Reusing the old head bolts. Wow. We'll at least torque these bolts to my spec. Oh boy, how do I even do this with one hand? All right. Push rods are going in. I bolted down, or I started to bolt down one rocker arm, and I was like, wait a second, something's going on here. And I looked and I had no push rods in the engine. So push rods, rocker arms, valve covers, paint, and we should be good to go. All right. So I did also go through and put lube on the tip of every push rod and valve stem. Trying to do every little thing to give this thing somewhat of a fighting chance. So I think every little thing will help. All right, you ready for the paint unveil? Here we go. Oh wait, it's right here. God damn it. Wow, this looks terrible on camera, but I promise it's not that bad. We're letting that paint bake to dry a little bit faster, but I promise it's not as bad as it looks. All right, here she is in all her glory. Looks half decent. So let's start throwing gaskets and bolts at it and see where we end up. All right, that was a little bit sketchy and also super not fun. The pickup tube O-ring, not ripping it, was awesome. It was a treat, to say the least. So oil pan is on, as you can see. I'm gonna get the pilot bearing in there, clean that up a little bit, then get the pilot bearing in there. Wow, that was English. So clean this out, press the pilot bearing in there, smack it with a hammer, and then get the twin disc on it. And then we can start talking about getting the trans bolted up. But let's look at this thing. Looking halfway decent. All right, so clutch is on. It is a, let's get some light on there. Oop,